Everybody, it's Victoria Marie. I'm so happy to bring you this layout. This is a layout that I created recently using the Clique Kit September Captured Kit. I was asked to be the September designer, one of the guest designers for September, and on their blog, and I'm just so excited. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, and so I kind of felt the pressure to like make a really perfect layout. But I guess I shouldn't have. They liked my stuff, otherwise they wouldn't have asked me to join them for September. So thank you so much to the folks at Clique Kit. You guys are awesome, and thank you for sending me these goodies. So they sent me the kit, and majority of the elements that you'll see here, the background papers that you see me layering, as well as the embellishments, come from the Cocoa Vanilla Hello Lovely collection. And there's a paper from 7 Paper, which is called Baxter, and a bunch of other embellishments that I'll go through in a second. So the idea for this layout is I wanted to do a layered background, and I know some of you are probably looking at this video and thinking, oh my god, you're using all of those papers, like you're not trimming them down to do a layer. No, I am not, and the reason being is I have a bunch of scrapbooking stuff that I ordered over the past few months that I need to get through, and I actually didn't pay for this. When they ask you to be on design teams, usually they give you the kits for free, and so I did want to use it all and take advantage of that, since I didn't have to really pay for anything, which is nice and very generous of them. But at the same time, I didn't want stuff just hanging around in my stash either, because I have more than what I care to have. So I created this layered look with the pattern paper, and now I'm going to trim down this corrugated paper, and this corrugated paper is from Fancy Pants Designs, and I absolutely love it. I thought at first I was going to use that as the primary background, but I really wanted a more layered look, and you guys know I love my layers, those of you who've been watching my videos for a while. So that's going to serve as the base for my photos and embellishments, and then of course that corrugated paper will rest on top of those layered pattern papers in the background. When I was sent my goodies, I was given that glassine bag, and that bag actually contained a lot of the embellishments and such that I got, which I love. There's my little girl flipping her hands in the camera. And so I decided to mount my photo on that glassine bag, and then the doily was a part of that, a part of the bag. It was used to hold the bag, the top of the bag closed, and then there's going to be a die cut that I'm going to use that says happy. That was attached to all of that. So it was a great presentation when I opened the box. And I decided to use all those elements on this layout. Now what you see me doing there is adding some strips to those. Well, the hearts were part of the branding strip from one of the papers. The one with the numbers was a cut apart, and then the scalloped piece there was from one of the sticker sets that we got with the kit. Okay, and so now I'm trying to figure out how I want to layer everything, and I really wanted a casual look for this layout. This photo was taken the following morning. We had gotten there on a Friday, so we got up on Saturday. We stayed at the Embassy Suites Arboretum, which was lovely, and they do a great breakfast buffet. So we got up and we were eating the buffet breakfast, and I snapped this picture of my daughter and I. And later in the evening, I was looking at it and I thought, oh, I absolutely love this photo. And I printed it in black and white, and I'm going to journal about how much she has grown up and how much she looks like a little lady and a big kid, and I want her to know all of these layouts that I make about her and about our family, how much she's loved. And I think if anything comes across in my scrapbooks and my messages to her, is that she's very much loved and admired, and she's a super awesome kid. So this one won't probably actually go with the story about Austin, but just in our family album in general, just to kind of talk about how much I love her. So this journaling card was exclusive to the kit, and I'm going to use the title on that journaling card that says These Moments as my primary title, and I'm going to add a secondary title underneath the photo that says You and Me. And now that I somewhat committed to the different elements on the page, I'm going to go ahead and start adhering things down. I'm going to cut up that doily and place a piece of that at the top, and that just came with the packaging. Might as well use it up and recycle. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the top there, and then I'm going to add a second piece at the bottom here in a second. Then there was also some tags that we got in an exclusive cut apart, and so I'm going to put one of those at the top, trim that down. I'll use that bottom. I always use the bottom pieces for something later on. And go ahead and punch out that hole, and later I'm going to add some black and white twine to that. And I'm adding these tags just to add yet another layer of dimension on the page. And that happy was the die cut that came on the packaging as an embellishment, so I'm going to use that in there. And anytime you have something that's appealing that comes with the packaging of your items, go ahead and use it, incorporate it in your layouts. Because, you know, if you're like me, I hate throwing it away. And it was so lovely, so I want to keep it. So I have this vellum heart that I'm using, and that's from a Pretty Little Studio vellum. No, I take that back. I believe that was Cocoa Vanilla vellum hearts. I've got a whole bunch of vellum hearts, half a pack. Now I've got these phrases that came with the sticker pack. Now this didn't actually come with the, let's see, did this come with the kit? I may have bought this separate. There are some other items that I like too that I purchased. This is from Elle Studio called Sienna, and it's a little sheet of stickers. And then I'm trying to decide how I want to place them at the bottom, and so I center them towards the bottom with an exclusive piece of flair with the heart, and then there's some flair at the top that says Best Friends, and that's going to end up being moved. Then I take the remaining piece of that branding strip with the hearts on it, put that at the top. I needed something else to go there, so I'm going to put some die cut flowers. At first I was trying to do the sticker, but it didn't look right. So there we go. There's the die cut flowers from Cocoa Vanilla. And there's that die cut, the flare that I'm kind of shopping around. And you saw me put those letters down. And those are from Evalicious. They're alpha letters, puffy stickers in gray, and they're beautiful. And that just really looks nicely on that layout against the glassine. From my stash, I grabbed some silver thread because I wanted to continue to play up the whimsy on the layout. So I add a little bit behind the flare and then a little bit up top. I'm going to trim that up a little bit. Okay, now I'm trying to decide what else do I want. Oh yes, and so I add a little bit of sprinkles using some Mr. Huey's opaque white. And the problem with the corrugated and when you add the distress ink or the mist is that it seeps into the crevices. But that's okay. It kind of gave it an interesting look. I'm going to add my twine. I'm going to trim that up here in a second. There we go. And then I'm going to add twine to the side tag as well. Now I'm going to add the date, and I'm using some, what kind of ink am I using there? Versifying? I don't know what I'm using. What am I using there? Stays on. And I'm going to stamp directly on the doily 3 times. Now I'm going to add that twine to the tag. And I believe this will finish out the layout. Oh yes, I've got a few more things that I needed to adhere down. I really enjoyed this kit. I'm going to post a link to the Clique Kit blog. It will be posted on Sunday, and actually the day that this video posts, which is today. Oh, I'm going to add some sequins too. We got sequins as well. Gold, aqua, and black. So I'll post a link to Clique Kit. I'll also post a link to my blog post where I talk about this layout in a little bit more detail, and also on the Clique Kit blog, Clique Kit blog, I'll also talk about this layout as well. And I think I'm almost done. I'm just gluing down those sequins with some Tombow Mono. Okay, so I'm going to slow things down a bit. What you won't see is I'm going to adjust the background so that that black and white stripe shows at the top and the bottom. And other than that, I think I'm done. I really like the way that this came out. And I think I'm going to have to do some dark backgrounds more. It just really makes that photo pop. And I think this is probably one of the favorite layouts that I've made. All right, so I'll have another one of these videos coming up a little bit later in September. It'll be my second post for the Clique Kit blog. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks again, Clique Kit. This has been really, really fun, and I will see you guys next time.